Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to continue with our series how to pass MB 800 exam. My name is Dhanraj Bansal. My contact details and brief introduction is given over here. So let's get started. Agenda of this video is configure financials, and configure financial we will do it in a series. There will be I think two or three parts to this configure financials. Um, when we talk about MB 800 exam topics, configure financials is having 25 to 30% weightage. So in the exam, 25 to 30% of questions will come from this part, configure financials. And what are the topics? These topics are taken from the course content, exam content provided by Microsoft. So here it is. This is exam MB 800 Microsoft Dynamics Business Central, and from here it starts configure financials. These are the topics which are there under configure financials. So uh, uh, a brief about these. So create a fiscal year, a new fiscal year. We will talk about creation of new fiscal year in this. Then we each of the modules of business central, be it sales, purchase, inventory, financials, fixed asset, all of them have a setup table associated with them. For example, for financial it's general ledger setup. For sales, sales and receivable setup. Purchase and payable setup. Inventory setup. So in this one we will talk about generalizer setup, how to set up generalizer setup and what are the fields there. Then create accounting periods, create payment terms, create payment methods. Payment terms define the uh, payment terms with the agreement with you and your party, be it vendor or customer. For example, it could be 30 days or something called CM, current month, means payment will be payable at the end of the month, or CM plus 8 days, something like that. So when I'm talking about CM plus 8 days, this is the due date calculation formula, and due date will be based upon document date. So we will talk about that. Payment terms, along with payment terms we will also talk about payment method. Then comes the configure the chart of accounts, create general ledger accounts, configure direct posting, how to enable direct posting or disable direct posting, create account categories and subcategories. In this video, as I mentioned earlier, we will be covering these all topics in 2 to 3 videos, or a number of series of videos. In this, I'll not include the configure the chart of accounts. Then comes setup posting groups, create specific posting group including bank, customer, vendor and inventory posting group, create general posting groups, configure GL setup. So GL setup we have touched upon in the first part also. So yeah, then set up journals and bank accounts, create journal template. We will see what are the various parts of a journal: template, batch and lines. Create batches, implement number series in journals, set up bank accounts, set up accounts payable. In this we will talk about a vendor ledger entry, detailed vendor ledger entry. Describe the relationship between vendor ledger entry and detailed vendor ledger entry. We will see how detailed vendor ledger entries are used, how the application is done, how the payments are made to the vendors, various methods to make payment to the vendors. We will talk about how to create vendor account, vendor bank account, define purchase and payable setup, set up payment journals, set up payment information for vendors. And the previous part was on the payables. Then we will talk about receivable also. When I say receivable, this part will be dedicated to customer. So describe the relationship between customer ledger entry and detailed customer ledger entry, create customer accounts, define sales and receivable setups, set up cash receipt journal, set up payment registration, set up payment information for customer, enable customer payments through payment services, and create document sending profile. In this video, in the last two sections, create document sending profiles and enable customer payment through payment services will not be included. Okay, so set up finance management. Configure accounting periods, configure the Generalizer setup, create payment terms, create payment methods. So here I've logged in into a Business Central Kronos company. Uh, Kronos financial. We have general chart of accounts. These are the various menu options here. So if I go a search for accounting periods. So for example, in this current system, accounting periods for 2019, 20, 21 and 22 are already defined. In case there is a requirement, or we can say that at the beginning of a accounting period or year, we will have to create a new period. So for example, create year. So create fiscal year. For example, I think up to 20. Uh, okay, 2022 is already created. So we will create 23. Starting date will be number of periods 12 month. When we did this, mm, just a second. I okay. The date format in the server is I think mmddyy. Can we delete this? The one which we created just now. Select more. Create year. So now it has created a new fiscal year for 23, starting from 1st January up to uh, the last month is December 23. Similarly, we can close year. We can define inventory periods. Configure the generalizer setup. Generalizer setup is the core of financial management. So we can define allow posting date from this will be applicable for all the users. Then at the user level also we have allow posting date from this date to this range. If you leave it blank, so there will be no restrictions. So there this allow posting date from to can be left blank as well. Do we want to register time? Then local address format, local contact address format, invoice rounding precision, whether it will be rounded to dollars. If that's the case, then we will enter 1.00 here. If it is into two decimal places, then 0.00 or 0.01. Invoice rounding, whether it will be there will not nearest up or down. Amount rounding precision, Amount decimal places 2 is to 2. Unit amount rounding precision, for example, here it is given in 3 decimal places. Unit amount decimal places up to 5 decimal places can be used. Check GL account deletion after. LCY code, local currency code, symbol of local currency, currency description of local currency. Okay, so maximum text difference allowed, and these are the various setup. Then we have dimensions. Dimensions are used for analysis in Business Central. By default, system allows 8 dimension. Out of those 8, 2 are global dimension and 6 are shortcut dimensions. We can define our dimensions here. And if now these 4 dimensions are defined, if you want to change these dimensions, these can be done from this button, using this button. Okay, we can create from here. Background posting should be allowed or not, that can be configured. Reporting, and then comes the application part. Application part is application rounding precision. What are the application rounding precision? And in Business Central, there is something called payment tolerance, payment discount tolerance warning, whether you want to enable that. For example, if your payment discount date is today, and if you want to allow some tolerance in that, let's say 2 days, 2 or 3 more days, then that can be defined. And payment discount tolerance posting, whether it will go into payment tolerance discount or payment discount accounts, that can be set up. Payment discount grace period, let's say 5 days. Similarly, this was, do you want to change all opponent? I'll say yes. Similarly, there is payment tolerance, whether we want to enable payment tolerance warning or not. Payment tolerance posting, whether it go to tolerance accounts or discount accounts. Then payment tolerance percent. Let's see the tooltip here. Specify the percentage that a payment or refund is allowed to be less than the amount on the related invoice or credit memo. For example, if I set up 0.1% here, if there is an invoice of $1,000, 0.1% of $1,000 is $1. So maximum $1 will be allowed. And then there is a field maximum payment tolerance amount, which is absolute value, which is not based upon percentage. So here in this case I am defining $5, but based upon percentage it is coming 1%. So what the system will do is it will take consider minimum of these two. Okay, so if from percentage wise it is coming $1, and here absolute terms I have defined 5, so it will give maximum $1 of a payment tolerance. We will see how payment tolerance works while making payment to vendor. So that was a GL setup, Generalizer Setup. This we can define background posting, application dimensions, and various address format, allow posting date to, etc. Payment terms and payment methods. Let's see payment terms. Various payment terms can be defined, for example 10 days, 14 days. And what is important in this is due date calculation. What is the due date calculation formula? 10 days, 14 days, 1 month. CM is current month, means at end of the month. If invoice is created today, if the document is today 11th July, so and if the payment terms is current month, it will be, the due date will be 31st July. Even if the invoice is created on 30th or 31st July, then also the payment due date will be 31st July, because uh, CM current month is chosen and current month is end of the month. Okay, so it's not like we are giving 10 days or 14 days or some days for the calculation of due date. No, if CM is current month is chosen, then it is end of the month whenever the transaction is done, irrespective of that. Uh, then we have discount date calculation also. For example, in this 1M's 8 dates, 1 month is the due date calculation. Discount date calculation is based upon this 8 dates. If transaction is done today, if discount, if due document date is today, and if the person makes payment within this range, then there is 2% discount applicable. Okay, so we will see how the discount date is calculated and how the discount is applied. Okay, so that was on the payment terms. Next we have payment method. Payment method defines your payment method, whether you will do check, gyro, cash, or online, PayPal, or what is the method that you are going to use, or card payment. Okay, in this thing, in this payment method, one thing which should be noted is, for example, if it is a cash payment, there we have defined balance accounting period, balance accounting number. If balancing account number is defined, then along with the invoice, payment will be processed. When we are making a invoice, for example, if we are posting a purchase invoice or posting a purchase order, and we are creating a posted purchase invoice, so along with that, payment will also be processed. We will see that scenario. Payment export line definition, bank payment type can be various payment type, ACH, SEPA, and other payment types, electronic payment types will be associated with this. So, from exam perspective, these payment terms and payment methods are a good topic to understand. Generally, there are questions around this area. Configure accounting periods. We have seen that reporting period, individual period, create a fiscal year, configure the general ledger setup, how to handle general ledger and accounting features, general dimensions, background posting, reporting, and applications that we have seen. Create payment terms also covered. Manage due date and payment discounts. We have discussed. Assign to customers and vendors. We will see how we assign payment terms to different customers and vendors later on. Create payment methods. Assign to set up general. Create general template. Create general batches. So let's talk about journals. In the system, there are various journals, starting from general, payment journal, cash receipt journal, item journal, and there are many more. Job journal, cost journal, item journal. So let me start with the payment journal. So journals have three levels. One is templates, second is batch, and third is line configuration template. So starting from general templates, we can give some name, then description of that, whether type it is asset, cash receipt, general payment. These are the various types: general, sales, purchase, cash receipt, payments, assets, intercompany, job, payment, payroll, accrual, deposit, sales tax, etc. What is the balancing account? Recurring or not, whether it is a recurring journal or not. Balancing account type is GL account. Balancing account number can be specified. Number series, what will the number series, and posting number series. Number series is the document generation is done. Document number is based upon this number series, whereas posted document number is based upon this number series. Source code, region code, forced document balancing is required or not. These are various boolean options. Okay, for example, if we talk about payment journal, so number series is GJNL PMT and source code is payment journal. We will go to this journal payment. Then comes after payment template, then comes the batch. Template batches. What are the various batches available in that? For example, now we are talking about payment. So there we have cash, general, PMT, registration, bank reconciliation. Against a batch also, there are balancing account number, number series, posting number series, and region codes. And the third level is line. Payment journal. Payment journal is used for making payments to paying to the vendor. In this one, cash batch name, we can select the batch name. There are three defined already. So cash, if we are making payment from cash, then this is the balancing account number. We will see how balancing account number is used. GL account and 10100. Posting numbers is not defined in this one. For example, if you make a entry, then balancing account type and balancing account number is coming from the batch name itself. Here we defined this one. Document number is also coming based upon the number is defined here. Number series. So starting number 4001, 5000, last number used is not updated. External document number, if there is any reference document number, payment reference number, or your account number, let's say we select one of the vendor Fabricam. Payment method code. Check printed. Okay. Mm. Journals, general, item journal, job journal. Each has three layers: template, batch, and line. We have seen that. Overview. So general template, purchases, sales. Then have batch. Batches can be per person also. Maybe your accountants or clerks, they can create their own batches using batch name. Journal lines. Create journal templates that we have seen. Balancing account numbers is posting rules. Create general batches. Set up cash management. Set up bank accounts. How to configure bank accounts? Bank account says when we say bank account, if we search by bank account, these are your own Kronos, your business own bank accounts. So first thing is setting up your own bank accounts. So for example, here checking and saving two bank accounts are defined. If I want to create a new one, and let me call it Citibank. Citibank. We can give branch number, bank account number, these details. 123 some number. Uh, Blocked later on, if required, we can block that account so that any transaction cannot be done. SEPA direct debit, these are for electronic payments. Bank name, the extension AMC by Microsoft making request to this is for leave it for now. Then communication address of that bank, city. Okay, Copenhagen. I'm selecting some city. Posting currency code, transfer check number, last check number. Let's say initially we define last check number is 1000, and then it will keep incrementing whenever a check is printed. Bank statement import format is not specified for bank account. You can select an existing format to create setup. Okay, this is about bank statement file format. So for the moment I'm leaving it blank. So this is how you create your own bank account. Now coming to the bank account of your customers or vendors. Let's start with the creation of a vendor. Uh, Here I'll be talking about payables, account payables, AP. So when it comes to creation of a vendor in Kronos, or we can create vendors using templates. So template will have certain fields already defined values. For example, in this system, there are two templates created: business to business vendor and cash payment vendor. So let's see what are the let's if I select cash, so it will be based upon this template. And when I drill down, I'll see that application method manual is defined, payment terms. These are the already defined based upon the template selected. Payment terms is COD, cash on delivery. Payment method is cash. Priority is 0. So priority is another important thing that we will be talking about later on. When making payment to vendors, priorities are defined. Priorities can be used. For example, highest priority is 1. If you have limited funds and if you want to make payment to your vendors, so those having highest priority 1 will come first in the vendor payment suggestion window. Okay, so this is how vendor test vendor show more. If you later on, if you want to block, or due to some reason if you want to block this one, you can block payment to this vendor, or block all, means everything, no transaction will be done. Document sending profile, we will cover this in the later some other video. A responsibility center can be defined. Address, then invoicing, tax registration number of this, tax area code of the vendor, application method, whether it's manual or apply to oldest. These are the two options. Generally we choose manual here. Priority 1 preferred bank, we will see how to create bank accounts for our vendors. So once the vendor is created, this is V0010. I'm closing it for a moment. Then I'll revisit it. How to create vendor bank account. Vendor actions, pay vendor related bank account. So you can have more than one bank account also for a vendor. I'll say bank one, enter relevant details, name, address, phone number, contact number, bank account number, communication, email, transfer, use for electronic payment. Similarly, I can create one more or n number of. Now for this vendor, we have created two. Here it is saying the page contains sensitive business data. You can set up a notification uh, to alert you when data changes. So a notification can be sent. So whenever any field information or field value is edited, updated, so notification, there is provision to send notification. So we can say enable field monitoring. To send notification about changes in field, you must set up an email in business central. Do you want to do that? So for the moment I'm leaving it. Now we have defined two bank accounts, which is the preferred bank account. At the card level, at the vendor card level, we can define the preferred bank account. So bank 02, bank 02 and bank 1, these are two are defined, and I'm setting up preferred bank account. So similarly for customer, we can create customers. This was for payables. Now we are talking about customers receivables. We can create new customers, and while I was talking about vendor, there was a discussion on template also. So let's see templates. We can create new templates. For example, I think here these are two customer related template. We will see those. So we can create one more template, all domestic customers. Then what is the number series associated with them? Invoicing, general business posting group domestic, VAT business posting group, customer posting group domestic. So I'm defining these two fields, and let's say if we can define some other also. Payments, application method, manual payment terms come code for all domestic. Let's say I'm saying it as 30 days. Payment method is PayPal, check. Let's say check. And now we will see, we will use this template while creating a customer, and we will check whether these fields are getting populated automatically from this template or not. General business posting group domestic, customer posting group domestic, and then allow invoice discount as yes. Application method manual, application terms code 30 days, check all that. So let's create a new customer new. So now it is showing three templates. The one which we created just now, all domestic customers, is also there. I'm going to select that. So this is my the customer which I'm going to say create is domestic customer. Okay, so number is automatically populated. New test customer. Then let's check whether payment related fields are there or not. 30 days, payment terms, general business posting group domestic, customer posting group domestic. All these are from template. Text area code, some value. Now I want to talk about vendor, vendor ledger entries, and detailed vendor ledger entries. So let's do a create a news purchase order. Did we create a new vendor? No, we created a test vendor. We might have not filled all the relevant fields, so we will come to know what are mandatory fields. Let's create a new purchase order. So here is the list of existing purchase orders. I'm going to create a new one. Vendor name, I'm going to select this one. As of now, there is no transaction. Vendor name is vendor is having zero balance. Here I can see this area is known as fact box, so it displays various facts. For example, first one is vendor statistics, so vendor number, balance, information related to that vendor. Then buy from vendor history. If buy from vendor is different, then history of that. So how many purchase orders, how many quotes, how many blanket orders are created for this vendor. Then line details. Here this is the line, so line details, forecast and all. Okay, so vendor purchase order, vendor invoice number, which is mandatory, which is uh, here we are seeing this red star, which means this field is mandatory, vendor invoice number. And from where have we set up that? That's done in the purchase and payable setup. What all can be done in purchase and payable setup? We can define discount posting, all discount, no discount, invoice rounding is required, is enabled or not, external document number is mandatory or not. So this is the external document number mandatory. If we turn it off, let's do we will turn it off and see the result of this. The number series, vendor number, when creating a vendor number, whether a number series will be used or not. So this is the part which is responsible for generation of the number series automatically. When we created this purchase order, number came itself. When we created a vendor number came from a number series, so we did not manually enter that number. So okay, so we have turned off external document number mandatory, and now you see that the vendor invoice number, which was marked as red color, which meant that it is a mandatory field, is gone. Now vendor invoice number is no more mandatory. Let's go back and purchase. So once again, this is mandatory now. When while posting, we will enter this value, that invoice number, reference invoice number from that vendor. Vendor shipment number can also be entered. So we were in the process of creating a purchase order. So let's say we are buying this item. Location code is our warehouse location. We can bin quantity, let's say 10 pieces. Here the direct unit cost is 780.70, which is coming from system, from item card. Just for easier calculation, I'm entering it as 1000. And after that, let's see what are the payment terms. I want to change the payment terms, and I want to make it 1 month 8 days, which means due date calculation is in 1 month and discount date is 8 days. Now when we updated payment terms code, uh, due date and payment discount date will be updated. Let's check those values. Prepayment terms code, prepayment due date. Okay, let's see the document date first. Document date is 12th April, and based upon that, due date is calculated, and the formula is used is based upon payment terms code. In terms code, it is 1 month. That's why due date is 12th May, 1 month after the document date. And we would like to check the discount due date also. Payment prepayment discount date. So 12th April, and based upon 8 days, 20th April is the prepayment discount percentage, that is 2% defined here. Based upon, it is defined in this setup. Let me show it again. So discount percent 2, this value is coming from there. So we can check the we can check the statistics. 10,000, there is no tax, and total including tax is also 10,000. Let's go ahead and post it. And because now we are talking about mainly financials, I'm not going to cover the receiving part and all. When you post a purchase order, there are three parts to three options which you get: receive, invoice, receive and invoice. I'll select the receive and invoice part, so that both the things are done together, and we will be able to create a invoice, so that we will see in posted purchase invoices. So the order is posted as invoice number this, and move to posted purchase invoice window. Do you want to open the posted invoice? Yes. Let's see, inspect the data of a posted invoice. 10,000 invoice details. Payment discount 2%. Payment terms 1 month 8 days. Okay, let's do one thing. Find entries. What are the entries created? So GL entries, there are 7 GL entry created. There are 2 vendor ledger entry, 5 detailed vendor ledger entries. So when we posted it, vendor ledger entry and detailed vendor ledger entries are created. Vendor's balance is also updated. Vendor's balance, in the vendor card, there is a field balance and balance. There are two fields rather, balance and balance LCY. If this is a forex transaction, then balance and balance LCY will be different. Otherwise, both will be same. And balance and balance LCY are something called flow fields. Flow fields are the special type of fields whose data is not saved in the system, but calculated at the runtime, and these are calculated based upon the formula, which is which is from some other table. For example, here we will see that it is based upon detailed vendor ledger entry table. So let's have a look at the GL entry table. 10,000 is the amount. 200 is the discount related to percent discount 9800. So these are the entries created in the GL. Vendor ledger entries. So payment is also done. I think we selected a method COD in which in which balancing account number was mentioned and payment is also done in the same step. And that payment is of $9,800, not of 10,000. So 200 discount is already given. So we see two entries. One is of invoice is of $10,000 and payment of $9,800. 200 is the discount given. So next transaction we will change the payment method and see. So original payment discount possible is this much, and remaining amount in both the entries we will see that remaining amount will be 0. So knock off entries are closed, and in the vendor card also balance will be 0 because the payment is done in this step itself. So I'm in the vendor card. Balance LC, balance dollar, balance due is the 0. Payments done so far is $9,800. Let's change the payment method in this case. Payment method is cash. So let me use it as a bank account. Any method which is not having a balancing account number. So we will create one more. So we saw that discount, due date discount is given in this case, but we were not able to make payment and see that process. And that's why I'm going to create one more purchase order. So if there is a requirement that the vendor, the company is doing transaction in cash only, and whenever an invoice is generated, payment should also be done. So in that case, the solution lies in the payment method. You should create a payment method in which balancing account is number is mentioned, and if balancing account number is mentioned, then invoice and payment will be created together in one step. Vendor number. Okay. What is the payment terms? Payment terms is COD. I'll go again and select that. Again, I'll select an item with quantity. Direct and cost is 1000. Prepayment, if we make payment before this date, then we will get discount. We will see all that. Receive an invoice. If we go and find entries, GL entries, again 7 GL entries. Is it again a case of vendor ledger entry, tax entry? Okay, now let's go and check the balance of this vendor. 10,600 is the balance. We will make payment to this vendor. Payment journal. There are various options for making payment. We will use payment journal, and first wage applies to document number. We can see the open entries here. This is the way in which if we select applies to ID, then only one can be applied at a time. And vendor number, I am going to select this vendor. Applies to document number. Here it is showing 10,600. 2% discount possible. 212. Payment maximum payment tolerance is $5. Let's say we selected this, and let me do it again. Amount was entered earlier, so I don't want to. Okay, so when I selected this, 10,600 was the invoice amount. 2% was the discount possible. 10,388 is the amount payable before the discount due date. What we can do is for trying or for learning, exploring the, let's see, due date is 12th May, discount date is 20th April, discount tolerance date is 25th April, means 5 days, which we set up in the GL setup. Discount tolerance days 5 days, and discount payment tolerance is also $5. So let's make payment after this payment discount date, but before this I'll choose the payment date as 23rd April, and posting date is 23rd April. An action is requested regarding a payment discount tolerance warning. To handle the late payment, post as payment. Uh, do you want to do not accept the late payment discount? We say post as payment discount tolerance. So this is because the discount date was 20th, discount date with tolerance was 25th. That's why we got this message. Now it is saying 10,388, whereas discount tolerance is $5. Even if when we, let's say vendor, we are making a payment of 385, $3 is remaining, so then also it is asking post as payment discount tolerance or not. We say yes. So means both part are covered in this case. Related tolerance, one is discount tolerance, which is in terms of days. So 20th April was the discount due date. We were having 5 days as the tolerance, so up to 25th April also if we make payment, we are eligible for that. We are making payment on 23rd. Okay, so we got a discount of 2% payment discount, early payment discount, and we got a payment tolerance also of $3. If we post it, what should happen is the entry invoice should get knock off. The $3 should not remain. The journal lines were successfully posted. Let's go to vendor ledger entry and see. On 23rd April, this is the last transaction. This is the entry because of last transaction. Remaining amount is 0. Even for this one, the invoice entry remaining amount is 0. If we click on 0, we will see that initial entry is 10,600. Application payment is of 10,600. Okay, and if we go into entry and find entries, let's do the find entries of the second payment. So there are entries created like 10,600, 10,385 which we paid. $3 has gone into I think tolerance discount account. This might be the tolerance discount account, and similarly 212 discount. So these are the entries created as the GL, and let's have a look at detailed vendor ledger entry. 5 detailed vendor ledger entries are created. Initial entry 10,385, the amount which we paid. Then $3 here we can see this is payment tolerance. 212 is payment discount tolerance. Application is of 10,600, and then application minus 10,600. So in this we have seen the tolerance aspect also, uh, payment discount tolerance and payment tolerance. We also saw that how vendor ledger entries and detailed vendor ledger entries are created. Now the payment of this 10,600 invoice is also done. Balance of the customer is 0. There were let me refresh it. I think payments it is showing we will also see suggestion, vendor payment suggestion, and priority thing also. So payment done so far is 2 payments are done. Let's go back to payment journal once again. In the payment journal, prepare suggest vendor payments. Suggest vendor payments is a processing only report which prepares the data for payments. We can apply last payment date, specify the latest payment date that can appear on the vendor ledger entries to be included. Posting date, the date which will be used in posting. Starting document number, this is the number. If you want to apply want to make a payment for only for particular vendor or some vendor, we can apply that filter. If it's for all the vendors, then we can leave it blank and we say okay. So these are the entries which are generated by system, that these are the payments which we are supposed to do. So there are multiple entries for a single vendor also. So if we go and check whether application is done or not, applies to document number is filled in all these. So for each uh, invoice, these entries are created for all the vendors. In the payment, the last window which we used, we can use something called priority also. If you have limited fund and if you want to make payment to uh, high priority vendors only due to limited fund, so that can also be done. So let's go back to prepare suggest vendor payments. Options show more, use vendor priority, and we say that we have only $20,000 as of now for making payment to various vendors. So when the moment I enter available amount, use vendor priority is set up, is marked as yes. Okay, skip exported payment. $20,000 up to $20,000 with high priority it will suggest. So maybe all the amounts are within 20,000 only. That's why it looks like everything is coming. So let me go back and set it as 4,000 or something. So we will see the impact of that. Prepare, suggest vendor payment. So here I'm saying I have $4,000 to pay. So then use vendor priority will come into picture. And in the initial, I think I showed you priority field in a vendor card. So one is highest, one, two, three, that way. So within 4,000 range, it has brought the entries of payables. So 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. These are the entries which are suggested based upon the priority. Now, what we can do is there is provision to print check also. We can use checks in the uh, business central. Print check, bank account, from which bank account? Let's say checking. Last check number is coming. That is the from number series 199. That's a field on the bank account card. So we can set up one check per vendor per document number, or one check for all the document. So reprint check, test print. Okay, print the report because it was empty. Adjust your filters and try again. Let me try it again. Okay. For that, I think I'll have to computer check, set as computer check. What is the issue? It is saying account type or balancing account type must be bank account. Okay, makes sense. So balancing account is GL account. We are saying we are making payment from GL account, which was because it is batch name is cash. So let me do it this way. Let me delete these entries and choose a different batch. General bank reconciliation. General. What is the balancing account? Bank account. Okay. Prepare. Suggest vendor payment. 4,000. Same limit. Same priority thing. Now the balancing account is bank account and balancing account number is checking. So I can set up as bank payment type as computer check, computer check, computer check, check, print check, print it. So check printing is done, and here it is marked as save as PDF. Checks. Uh, check printed is marked as true, means checks are printed. Now one can go ahead and post these entries. So this is how the payment is done, and we have used checks also. If required, checks can be voided. So in check we get the option like void check, void all checks. Okay, so that was on the payment part. Let's go back to our PPT. Set up bank accounts. We have seen that module. Vendor account, create document, sending profile, merge vendor accounts. Vendor accounts, if two vendors are created for a particular vendor and later on you found that this was the manual mistake done, you can merge that. So let's say I'll go to this vendor card, vendor, and functions, action, function, merge with, merge this with some other vendor. Let's say two similar vendors are created. So which fields to keep? Now we have selected two vendors. Uh, Current value, alternate value. This is the 50,000. V triple zero one zero and alternate value. So which one to keep and which one from where? So let's say overwrite specific field value of the current record should be overwritten by the value of the duplicate record. Current value, for example, email. I want to copy from this one to here. State also from, okay, preferred bank account, all this information. And if I say merge, so vendor 50,000 is merged into vendor V triple zero one zero. So we don't have 50,000 anymore. And some of the fields like this state and zip code and email we copied from vendor 50,000. So that's how some of the vendors can be merged. Um, Vendor payment information, payment terms, preferred bank account, multiple accounts per vendor, use in payment journal, vendor payment tolerance. I think we have covered most of the things here, almost everything. Configure purchasing and payables, configure rules on processing, assign number range, set up accounts receivable. So we covered vendors in detail. So similarly, customers, configuring customers, creating a new customer, and receiving payment from that customer. So let's create a new customer. I think we created a new customer. This one, new customer, based upon the template, new template created. So let's create a sales order. New sales order. Posting date, quantity 5, unit price. I'll simplicity. I am entering 2000 so that total becomes 10,000. There's no tax applicable. Payment terms is 30 days. Let me choose payment terms. This is defined at the customer level. So if we define, it is coming from there. 1 month, 8 days. Process, post it. Let's see, posted invoice, posted sales invoice. We can navigate and find out the entries. So it has created uh, customer ledger entry. One customer ledger entry is created, one detailed customer ledger entry is created. So invoice. Now if you go back to customer card and check the balance of this customer, balance LCY is 10,000. Now let's talk about receiving payment from this customer. One way is cash receipt journal. Okay, so customer, from which customer? This customer. Amount, let's not enter amount currently. This is coming to the, maybe we are getting it into bank account, then we can choose bank account, applies to document number. This is the open invoice. 10,000, balance is 10,000. If we here also we can see discount possible is 2,200. Payment discount tolerance date is 6th. Payment discount date is 1st May. Discount tolerance date is 6th May. If we make payment before 6th May, let's say we consider 4th May, we are receiving it on 4th May. Why is it showing me? Okay. Sales and receivable setup, all discounts, both warnings. And we make a payment. Um, so now it is showing 9,800 is payable. It is giving me discount, and I just want to change this, delete this line, and I want to make it the payment on 3rd May. I want to receive, rather, not make payment, receive. That receiving payment we are receiving on 3rd May. Will the system still show me the discount or not? That's what I'm checking. It is not showing. So let's say we are making a payment of minus 9,800. Post payment discount tolerance. Okay, and not this one, rather 9798. Okay, and post it. Posted successfully. Let's go back and check in the customer ledger entry. Last entry is of 3rd May, the payment which we just now made. So let's see entry before this invoice, if there is any remaining amount or not. Remaining amount is 0 in both these entries. So if we go in the payment entry and check for find entries, GL entries, there are 4 entries. The $2 is payment tolerance, this is discount, and this is the actual payment received. So detailed customer ledger entry 1, detailed customer ledger entry, we will 5. This is payment tolerance. A shortfall of $2 was there, so that's applied, and payment, the invoice entry is closed. It's not showing remaining $2. This is the discount entry. Okay, so we have seen the scenarios of tolerance in terms of discount date, tolerance in terms of remaining balance, not all $2 and how to make payments. The other way to make payment, one more way is also there. So I would like to cover that also. So let's do one more post one more sales order. Quantity 1, rate 2000. uh, is it post it? No, I don't want to see that. Now register payment, register customer payments. So here it is showing 2000 is remaining for the invoice we just, okay. So payment made on this date, and I here also I'll say that 1997, this is the amount. $3 difference is there, but it'll allow only $2, I think. Let's, because 0.1% is set up there. So 1999, remaining amount is $1, and let's go ahead and post it. Post payments, post as lump payment. Now it is saying, do you want to, an action is requested regarding the payment tolerance warning. Post the balance as payment tolerance or leave a remaining amount. If we choose leave a remaining amount, $1 will be left as a remaining amount. A invoice entry will not be closed. So let's say I want to give it post the balance as payment tolerance. So now that entry is gone, and if we go back to customer and check its balance, so customer balance is 0. Here it is showing only the open ledger entries, but if you want to see the all the ledger entries, so we can see ledger entries, open entries. Okay, original amount is this, amount is this, amount, the remaining amount is 0. So that was how to receive payment from customers. Let's go back to our presentation. Create customer account, preferred bank account. Similar to a vendor, we can create a bank account for customer and define preferred bank accounts. We have seen payment method, payment terms, configure sales and receivables. That's all for this video. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned for more videos related to MBA 800 exam. I'm going to upload soon more videos. We will cover this the whole syllabus of MBA 800. Uh, in case you want yourself updated on the upcoming videos, whenever I upload a new video, you please consider subscribing to my channel, subscribing and liking to my channel. Thank you. Looking forward to see you again.